Hello there, YouTubers. Wanted to give an update on my boiler project, outdoor wood boiler. One of the things I want to go over is I have changed out my water system. In previous videos you've seen a 55-gallon barrel sitting in the background with a shallow well pump attached to it. The shallow well pump was pumping up from the bottom of the barrel and pushing it through the boiler and then the radiator and then being returned back to the barrel. The water pump has given up. It's now out of place. I believe that the hot water probably burnt a hole through the rubber bladder in the pressure tank, which was probably to be expected since the shallow well pump is meant for cold water and not hot water. So I had to go back to my original hot water pump, and I want to show you folks. This is why it's important to follow the directions in these books. So I actually had trouble with this pump getting it to work, and in one of my previous videos I thought that the problem may have been because of the way that I had it configured in the line. So yeah, actually right here we see ways that it should be mounted and ways that it should not be mounted. And originally I had it mounted exactly like the one here above my finger is. So that was problem number one. Problem number two, as you see here, open the system, install the pump in the supply line. The suction side of the pump should be flooded with water. So what that means is that all the water that you have should be setting essentially on top of the pump, or at least on the side that's going to be the suction side. I was not doing that either. I was trying to lift with it. So those was the two problems that I was doing incorrectly with that pump. So after seeing what I had done wrong, I went back to the hot water pump, which it's originally made for anyway, and decided to see if I couldn't come up with a system that could achieve both of those results. And here's what I've come up with. I actually have my 55-gallon plastic barrel sitting on top of a wooden platform that I made. That barrel is upside down and it has a copper pipe coming down into the boiler, which we'll take a look at here. So I just necked it down. It's running into the boiler, straight gravity feed, nothing in between it. It goes through the boiler, which again, if you've seen my previous videos, it's one loop around the barrel stove and then into a tank that's inside of the barrel stove, and then back out of the tank, and then out of the metal housing here, and we run all along here to the pump. And you'll have to excuse me here, but I built a little roof over top of this pump, so it's kind of hard to see. So all that water is gravity fed to the pump to this point. So what that's done is it has flooded this side, the suction side. So that's the only way that I know to have flooded it. I guess I could have flooded it up here at the barrel in that way. But someone I was talking to stated that, well, it's a hot water pump, and it would probably work best on the hot water side. So that's how I achieved that. I gravity feed it all the way through the boiler, which then floods this suction side, which really doesn't have any suction because it doesn't have any lift, to the hot water pump, If you'll notice there, try to get a good shot of it. It is a 3-speed pump. And here's the little roof I built over it just to keep the rain off of it. So it doesn't actually start pumping until this side, which then goes into the house, back out, back up to the top of the barrel, and back in. So just wanted to give a quick little update on that. It's been keeping the house really nice and warm. The house gets up to 80 to 90 degrees. I'm kind of learning a little bit on how to get that down a little bit into the 70s to make it a little bit more comfortable. 80s and 90s is starting to get too hot. One of the things I've done, which I mentioned in my last video, was I did add that damper into the chimney pipe, which has helped dramatically with saving my wood and being able to not be quite as hot inside. So you can kind of see there. Poke it around a little bit. It's been a couple hours. I shouldn't say a couple. It's probably been I'd say it probably has been at least an hour and a half to 2 hours since I put those 2 pieces of wood in there. As you can see, they're still pretty much solid. There's some white smoke coming out, but that eventually clears up and doesn't get white anymore. But just to kind of show you again, 55-gallon barrel turned upside down, gravity fed through the boiler, flooding the suction side of the pump, and then the pump picks it up from there and pushes it on through the radiator in the house and back out to the barrel. Probably will insulate that barrel next, finish insulating some of these lines. But so far, I have to admit, it's been really well. The temperature has gotten down close to 20 in nights here, and the house has definitely been really toasty. So if you're thinking about doing something like this, folks, please, don't let me encourage you. But I will have to say that I have not been disappointed. In fact, I'm already thinking about some improvements I can make next year to it, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe. Bye.